All right, welcome to the round royal table of the realm. We have decided to try to make a podcast, so here we are. We will mainly talk about video games, but we might get into some other stuff. We'll have to see. So yeah, with us today we have Princess Headshot,
Hello.
Volvitor,
Hey,
and I'm Lucky Banana. Princess, why don't you start telling us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Princess Headshot. I am a part-time streamer and a part-time sign painter. And
Exciting.
yeah, I'm 26-year-old and living the dream.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Living the dream. What do you mean?
Well, I am just in a time in my life right now where I'm very comfortable with what I'm doing for a living, and I'm working very hard to achieve my dreams.
That sounds good. Well, Vitor, are you living the dream?
I am living the dream. Yes, I'm getting educated in IT,
All right.
and soon I'm starting studying as well. And my name is Niklas, and I'm 20 years old.
And you're from
Germany.
right.
I'm from Denmark.
Right. I'm Lucky Banana. I am from Norway. I am 27, I think. Soon 28. I'm really bad with numbers, although I work as a programmer, so don't tell my boss. I'm living the life as well. I'm playing a lot of video games and just really chilling out with my friends. So yeah, I have been doing some streaming as well, but I don't know. I'm not really a streamer, but I think podcast seems to be a cool thing.
It's the new.
All right, so we're gonna talk a little bit about some games. We are gonna talk a little bit about CSGO. Actually, it's a game that we all like to play. Am I right, Princess? You
Yeah.
play that a lot on stream.
Yes. Half and half with other games, I would say.
All right. Volvitor, CSGO. Important
Yeah,
game for you.
important game for me. Many hours in it, too many. Even though I don't like it, but yeah, it's a very important game.
You don't like the game, or you don't like that you have that many hours?
No, I don't like the game
Oh,
itself.
wow. Okay, how many hours do you have in the games you do like then?
I like Rocket League. I, for example, have 900 hours in that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot of hours.
That's a lot of hours. Let's not talk about other games that have hours, and let's switch the topic.
So some questions or some topics on the CS:GO that I'm thinking is we can talk about is it still relevant, the game itself? Princess, what do you think?
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Do you still think the game is like relevant as in is it still alive or still
Well,
thriving?
They just came out with the new missions. Well, just came out. Last year they started to do some missions, or what's it called? Operation. So you can buy this pass, and every week you get new challenges. You can get new skins. I think they're trying very hard to keep it alive, but I think also it is kind of a dying game. Yeah. Because there's not really that many new stuff. They're trying to change it up, but it's very, very little new stuff they have every time. So, yeah.
All right. Do you agree, Volvitor, that it's kind of dying a little bit, or do you have another opinion?
I think the princess is partly right. Yes, it is kind of dying. I see that many of the people that I played with earlier don't play the game anymore because they just say it sucks, it didn't change, it just is the same as it always was. But you have to see, CSGO is a game that you cannot really change much in that. Like, it has never stop a running system, you know? Like, what do you want to... They just add new game modes and stuff, like Guardian, for example. Like this 2 versus 2 game mode, Wingman. And I think they're doing very good for what they have to work with. Like when I remember the Operation Hydra in 2017, 18,
Yeah.
beginning of that. That sucked big time, but that one is actually quite good. So I think they're trying really good, and I think it's working well.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult to change that game because it's very it's very competitive first of all, and it makes it really hard to change things. And it is, although it might sound a bit wrong, it's a very simple kind of game mechanics in itself. It's not really that much you can do. You cannot change and have fun with it like you can with games like Fortnite and go all crazy. It's I think it's really hard, but I think they've done a good job. And I still think that they are relevant, but I think the problem is that there's a lot of different games, and gaming becomes more and more, um, popular. So it's kind of easy to think that it's not so relevant anymore, and there's not that many players. But there's just so many things, to choose from.
Yeah.
Interesting thing I think is where it's gonna head. Like, where is it heading? Is it going to be a new Counter-Strike game again, or is it going to continue with this forever? I personally think that it's never going to be that easy for them, at least, to make another CSGO game, considering all the skins in the games and all the money people have been putting in. But I also think it's going to be a challenge to never make a new game. Graphics and everything changes over time, and I think they have a big challenge there. And what do you guys think about that, Volvitor? Do you think they are going to make a new game, or do you think they're going to continue with that game, for a very long time?
That is super difficult because on the one hand, I see a point like maintaining a game like this with that big of a player base is super hard. But making a game with all the people that put money in this game will be like, yeah, sure. They would lose so many potential buyers, and like if they make a new skin market and stuff for the new game as well, nobody would invest in that because people are just like, yeah, in 20 years they just do it again, and then I lose all my money, and I don't want that. It's like this FIFA thing, like where
Yeah,
you can buy cards and then next year they are not worth it
worth
anymore.
no.
Exactly. Yeah, so I don't think they would do another game. That would be I think it would be stupid. But if you can transfer the skins, then I would say maybe it's worth it.
Would you be annoyed, Princess, if they changed or made a new game? I mean, I know you don't have that many skins, but
I mean, the
what do you
skins
think?
that I have is not something I've put my own money into. It's basically been selling something else and buying something for those money I got. I think I would probably be annoyed if you couldn't transfer your skins, because I've grown to love my skins. Something that I did never think that I would ever do, but it's it's customizing your character in the game, and I think that's very important to some people. And if you just basically delete that whole thing, I think you're gonna start a riot. I think it's gonna be very, very bad for the game, and probably not that many people would buy or play the new game if they came out with a new one.
No. Yeah, I definitely agree. It's probably going to be close to a riot, at least,
Yeah.
if that happens. So something that I'm thinking a lot about with CS:GO is, for me, it's been one of those games I always come back to. I don't necessarily play it that long at a time, but I keep coming back every now and then, and enjoy playing it. And I kind of get a feeling that that's how most people play the game. They don't necessarily have it as a main game every single day, but they keep coming back for a game or two every now and then. And I'm wondering what you guys think is the reason for for that people just keep coming back and not playing it for a very long period of time. What do you think, Ulvitor?
Damn. Okay. So first I'm answering why they are taking breaks. The game can get annoying after a long time. The game can get really annoying because you're doing the same thing over and over again. Like nothing changes. It's just the situations are a bit different, but in the end, it's the same kind of deal every day, every game. And so I can get if people are just getting frustrated and just decide, yeah, no, I'm gonna take a break now. I've done them myself like twice or 3 times, and yeah, and they're coming back because they're just after a break you just feel like, yeah, I think I want to try it again. I feel it again, and then they just go in and they're doing the exact same thing they did 3 weeks ago, and then they take a break again. And yeah, that's basically how CSGO works for many people, I think. But I guess that's
Yeah.
all right. It's kind of this on and off game, I would say.
Do you agree, Princess? It's on and
Well,
off type of game.
yeah, yes and no. I think it's a game that's very hard for some people to rank up in, and I feel like when you just are getting nowhere, people are getting tired of the same thing every time they play, and I guess people just get tired of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I think it has a lot to do with what you said, Will Vito. The you need a break, not just because it's the same thing over and over again, but also because you get annoyed quite quickly, and you just need to cool down a little bit. I think that's kind of where it comes from. At least for me, I'm enjoying it a lot more when I'm coming back after a long time, because then I'm more relaxed and it's not so competitive, and you get to really kind of play it with your friends and just enjoy it a little bit more. So yeah, that's kind of what I had on the CS:GO. I don't know if there's anyone who want to say something specific about CS:GO, positive, negative, anything. Princess,
I feel like we
anything?
got around it pretty well. I feel like it's nice to get around the whole operation thing, because that's the whole new big thing right now still going on. And for some people it's worth buying, some people it's not worth buying. That's very individual, but yeah, I feel like that's the mainly thing that I wanted to get around.
Do you think it's okay that the game is charging you for content like that in the game? After you have bought the game, you also have to pay for stuff in the game. I know it's free now, but in general, do you think that's okay, or?
I yes and no. I feel like it's a very cheap way for them to make money, but I also think that you get something that is exclusive for this operation only, and they introduced something to the game that was completely new with this mission or this operation, and that was player skins. And with that, I think it's okay, because that changes the whole game actually, because you look different, you have different colors, you have different colors in those environment that you're used to seeing another color. So it changes the game in a way. So I mean, I bought it back when I bought the game. So I don't know. I have different opinions about it.
Yeah. Is there anything you, Will Vitra, would like to say about CS:GO? Something that we haven't talked about?
I don't think there is much that we haven't talked about.
No.
I think we got pretty much through, but I would like to maybe add to Princess. Like you asked her if it is a bad thing that that they charge you money for content, and I have to say that they were always good at that. Like if we think back to the gloves, like they added a woe case, and it's like the same rarity as a knife. Like it's just gloves, and they made it so they did. I don't know what to say. It's just like they are very good at making money. Let's say it like that. They know how to get money from their community, and I think that's a bad thing. But yeah.
I think the most important thing when it comes to these microtransactions, if you will, is that as long as they keep it within sort of a group of content that's not going to give you any advantage, I think it's okay. Because there's always going to be someone who has a lot of money and they're just going to spend a lot of money. And then if it gives them advantages in the game, it's going to be a little bit tricky. I think for the most part, what they've been adding to the game is only customized ways things look, which for the skins for the weapon, it doesn't really affect you at all. You cannot really see the other people's weapons. I think with these skins for the players, there has been a little bit of complications with it. I remember seeing some news about specifically in Overpass, there was a place where you could basically be invisible, sort of. And I think stuff like that, when it gets into those kind of categories, I think it's really bad, because then you can kind of get an advantage by paying money, and I think that's not good. But I think they've been doing a good job for the most part. And if people want to spend money on those kind of things, I think it's okay. I wouldn't personally do it, but those who are doing it is actually giving money to the people making the game that will then make the game better for me. So I think it's in a way fine. So yeah, that was a little bit about CSGO. I was thinking that we could move on to talking a little bit about some games we have played recently. We all play games all the time. Like you said, Volvitra, more than we want to admit, kind of. So yeah, I was thinking we could talk a little bit about some of the games we played recently. That is kind of like just a little bit new to us somehow. Whether or not it's something we have just brought back from playing for a while, or something we newly discovered. Just something we have been playing, really. Yeah. Volvitra, do you want to start?
Sure. Okay. So there's a game I've discovered not too long ago. I think it was maybe not even a month ago. It is called The Hunt, and it is about 10 people joining a map and trying to kill monsters in teams of 2. This is very interesting because the whole game gives so many opportunities to approach like this whole game. You could, for example, kill the monsters or go for players, or you could just like go for the bounties, go for basically just the small ones, and then go out of the map again. It's all about like getting points, getting out of it, and getting XP in the end, and then leveling your characters up. And in the end, every character is a bit unique. Like they have special traits, they have a name, they have special equipment, and they will grow on you in the end. Like because you will go through some crazy shit with them, some crazy fights, some crazy monsters, anything scary stuff. And in the end, like when they die, it is mostly super sad because you invested so many games in that character, and then he just dies in front of your eyes. Yeah. So I think the game is really, really great, and I love it. And I'm mostly playing it with Princess, and I hope I didn't talk about a game that you maybe wanted to say a few words to as well. But yeah.
So this is the Hunt Showdown.
Exactly. Yes.
So you're saying that you can either go for the monster, but you can also go for other players?
Exactly.
Does that create like sometimes a little bit of a toxic environment, you feel like? Or do you get annoyed because other people are trying to ruin the game for you?
I don't want to say that they're ruining the game, but there have been some moments where I thought that people need a lot more to do in their life because they wasted so much time watching one position that they saw another person at like 30 minutes ago, and then you peek for 1 second and you get insta headshot. And yeah, I think it can get a bit toxic sometimes, but that's just how the game is, and I think it's perfect the way it is. I really love it.
How long does one game last?
It can last up to 1 hour, but most of the games take 30 minutes. And if you die early, 15. So most of my games have been 15, but some of them have taken an hour.
All right. And you say you're leveling your character up so you can keep playing and getting stronger and moving forward that way?
Exactly. As long as a character doesn't die and you get like to an extraction point and like get out of that world, you can use them again anytime. If you picked anything special up, like equipment, you can take that home and basically come back with this equipment in the next game. So as long as you keep a character, you can level him up, give him new traits, give him new weapons, everything. And yeah, also like if every time you get out of a game, you also have a bloodline rank, which is basically your overall player level. And as soon as you upgrade that, the higher level you get, the higher tier weapons you can equip. And
so even though your character dies and you have to start over, you still have some progress in
exactly.
Form of
And I think that is very good because it's a bit rewarding, even though you just like lost your tier 3 character with the
Yeah.
best weapons and everything. So
I think
yeah,
I think it would be a bit sad if I've played a long time on a character and he just dies and I have to start all over again.
yes, it can be.
Yeah.
All right, so Hunt Showdown, you can get it on Steam, right?
Yes, exactly.
In case anyone is interested. So yeah, Princess Headshot. What games
Yeah.
have you played recently?
Well, I discovered a game late 2019.
You are not
Oh,
talking.
sorry about
There
that.
we go.
I discovered a game late 2019 that is a zombie game, and a lot of people know it. It's Dying Light. It's a game that I really, really enjoy. I really, really enjoy the zombie universe, and the whole Dying Light is you are a character that lives in a zombie world. Basically, you're dropped down in this world, and you're trying to get out and talk to people that are in there, but it's very few people that are survived. And you're basically on these missions that I cannot tell too much about because that's gonna be a huge spoiler. But basically, it's about survival, and I really enjoy that. It's my favorite zombie game out there.
All right, you're saying open world, so it's something where you can kind of choose what you want to do yourself.
Yes, there is main quests and then there's side quests, and basically you can do whatever you want because there's not just one way to go. So in that way, you could, if you want it, try to kill every zombie there is on the entire map. But
Count me in.
that would maybe be a little bit boring in the end. So you go for the stories mainly, and I think it has a very, very, very good storyline for the main story, and it has a very good way of I like the way the game is made with how the character moves, because it's very parkour and you're jumping on buildings. You level up your character, so you get more ways to kill a zombie. You get more ways to parkour around the world, and that way is just amazing for me.
Yeah. One of the things I'm thinking about, you're saying you can do main quest and you can do side quest. Does your quest that you're doing sort of do stuff to the world? Do you feel like you can make choices and affect the world, or is it kind of just this linear story?
It is affecting the world in smaller bits where you're opening up more of the map or other maps. But mainly it's the same world, because stuff that is happening in the stories happens inside of buildings that you normally couldn't go into.
Okay. But are they unlocked then for the next part of the game? Or for the rest of the game? Those buildings?
No.
Okay.
Those buildings are made for the stories.
Okay. Cool. Zombies is always exciting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of zombie games out there, but this one sounds really unique, I feel like, with the open world and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know what it is, but zombies are always exciting.
Yeah. Something that tries to kill you is always nice.
Yeah, yes. In video games, right?
Yeah,
In video games.
right.
Okay, so I have also played some games recently. And one of the games that I've been really playing lately has been Guild Wars 2. I don't know if you guys have heard about that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
please tell me about it.
Oh right, I will. So Guild Wars 2 is a MMORPG, kind of like World of Warcraft, if people know that better. But it's a game I've actually played quite a lot before. It's a game that I kind of come back to like 2-3 times now, and I keep just coming back to it. I really like it. It is this beautiful big world where you can just run around and do exactly what you want to do. And it feels like it's open world, and that's one of the things that I think is very important, and what I think most of these open world games are doing wrong. It's that it is an open world, but you kind of have this forced upon you story that you have to follow, and you have to do these things in these ways. But this is completely open. There is nothing that you have to do, and there's nothing that you feel like is is a quest, so to speak, because there aren't really any quests in the game. It's a game where you kind of just stumble upon something and you just naturally do the things that you're supposed to do there, but it doesn't feel like you're doing any work for anyone or anything like that. It's super interesting the way it kind of tells the story without forcing it upon you. um, and I think it's very interesting with these MMORPG games how now it's 10, no, 8 years or so since the game came out, and at least 5, 6 years since I played it. But you just boot it up again, and it's like it always has been. You come into this world, and there's lots of players, and it still feels as alive today as it has been. And I think it's kind of beautiful that there exist games out there that just lives their own life for so many years. Um, so that's what I've been playing, and I really, really have been playing it. I've been having TV shows on one monitor, and I've just been nerding that continuously. And right now, I'm in this kind of state. I don't know if you guys know it as well, but where you just feel like there's never ever gonna be any other game I'm ever gonna play because this is the best. And then in 2 weeks I may be playing something else. But do you guys know that feeling, Volvitor?
Yeah, yeah, I do. Mostly with multiplayer games that I feel really competitive in.
Yeah.
And then I feel like, yes, that is my game. I'm gonna play it a lot. And then after 2 weeks, as you said, that's mostly the time it lasts.
Yeah.
Then the glimpse is gone, and you're just like, yeah, okay, no, not today. Let's do something else today. Maybe one of the old games I have so many hours, and maybe I could try those out again. And then you're just like, then you're done with the game and you boot it up, as you said, maybe a bit later again.
Yeah.
It's one of the old ones then.
Exactly. Princess, you agree? You have those moments?
Yeah, it's like you're in a spiral with games that you enjoy, and then sometimes something breaks that spiral, and it lasted for maybe some weeks, and then, well, you're back. Maybe that game is a part of the spiral now, but I think you're always gonna come back to some games that when you just want to relax. You don't want to start in a new game or too competitive, or well, it depends on the person, but that's how I see it, at least.
I definitely agree. Yeah. Some games are just on my list for those times I just want to relax and not
Yeah.
having to worry too much. All right, so that was a little bit of some games we played. I was thinking we could talk a little bit about some gaming news. Sort of. Thinking we could start off by talking a little bit about something that I think a lot about and that annoys me sometimes, and that is gaming news that are sort of either leaked or fake or misleading or just overly hyped, which kind of annoys me a little bit. I don't know about you, but there are sometimes I see these companies hyping up that this big game is coming out and it's going to be this fall, and then fall comes around and the game is not coming out, and they're pushing it to the summer, and then they keep pushing it more and more, and it's just, why are you doing this? I'm waiting for this game. Do you guys have any experience with that, Princess? What do you think?
I don't necessarily have any particular game I've experienced it with, but I do know that if I have a game that I'm really looking forward to that is keep pushing its date, I would rather have them pushing the date than coming out with a half-finished game that they're going to update anyways in half a year or...
That's a good point.
So I think they should do their stuff. I think they should probably not have set a date in the first place.
No.
If they weren't sure. But, stuff happens when you make a video game. Anything can happen, and all of a sudden you're missing an entire map because you deleted it on your computer or something, and then you have to do it again. I don't know.
If someone did that, they probably lost a job.
I'm just saying a lot can happen when you make a computer game, and I'm seeing that it's better that they wait and make it the way that it's supposed to be, other than just releasing it because, well, it's time.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's better to have a late game than a bad game. I read something once about someone talking about exactly that, how a bad game is always going to be bad, but a late game is at least going to come out and be good
Yeah.
at some point. Well, Vitor, do you have any thoughts on that? Do you have any experience or something that just related to this?
Well, first of all, I have to absolutely agree. It's never good when people just set the day before and then they haste to that date, and then it's like a completely fumbled game. That always sucks. But I'm pretty sure there was something like that with No Man's Sky. I don't know if you guys know the game.
Yes.
It's this space exploration game that was really big, and I'm pretty sure they said in the beginning when they like big announced it, like they said there will be multiplayer and it will be so huge and there will be so many different things to do, and some of these things weren't even quite true. Like there was no real multiplayer in the beginning. Like they added it later, like
Yeah, it
1 or 2
came.
years later
Yeah.
with the how was the update called again? Nexus? No, I forgot how the update was called. But yeah, they did a big update and it was like much too late. So they let people down with their announcements.
Yeah.
But everything came later on, or that they
Yeah,
promised.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But maybe they should have just waited
Yeah.
and not released the game like early
Yeah.
and just stick to their fucking promises.
Yeah, it's like you said, Princess. There's a lot of things that can happen, and that's obviously understandable. I just think it's something that really annoys me a lot is when someone is or a company is going to make a game and they're going to announce it. They make this trailer, kind of not really a trailer, but this sort of announcement video, and then it's not really about the game at all. It's just this. It feels like it's this guy who's just like made some cool 3D animations and just put
Yeah.
it together, and then when the game comes out, it's not even close to that. And I feel like the wrong hype is really what's driving me here. One of the things I've noticed a lot lately is I'm using Facebook a lot to watch videos, and there comes these advertisements up from these apps on your phone, these games, and the trailers have absolutely nothing to do with the game. It's not even that it's better quality than the game. It's literally not anything to do with the game. And it's like I'm clicking on the ad because I'm thinking, oh, this looks like a cool game, and then what is this? And I'm feeling like they're trying to mislead and just do anything to catch you. And I feel like that's just not okay. I don't know. Do you guys have similar experience, Princess?
I have the experience with, especially with games on the phone. They advertise somewhere you're watching a video and you have to watch this advertisement before the video starts, and it's a game that really interests you, and it's a game that maybe most people would be interested in, and that's why the trailer is like that. And then you go in and download the game, and you open the game, and what do you know? It's not that game at all. So yeah, I definitely have some experience with that, and I think it should be illegal with false advertisement.
Thank you.
I feel cheated. I feel like even though I haven't spent any money in this, they have gotten money from whatever commercial that I have watched when I open this game or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. They did make money off of you, so they have made money off of
Yeah.
false advertisement. Well, Vitra, do you have anything to add on that?
No, I don't normally click on those advertisements on the phone, like because I don't play many mobile games, and I'm never really was at least in games I never really fell for false advertisements. I normally don't click on those ads, so I can't really add anything to that.
Have you
But
ever?
Yeah.
Sorry, have you ever bought a game on Steam then, or played a game somewhere where you've looked at the trailer and pictures and you feel like, okay, this is not nearly what they're trying to advertise?
Not really. No, I don't think so actually. Maybe I'm just not remembering. I'm probably just not remembering because I probably have, but don't think so.
That or you're just really lucky.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that kind of covers that. There are a few sort of examples that I could come with. I know there's this game I'm really looking forward to that's was supposed to come out last year, but obviously didn't. And now we have gotten to know that it's going to come out much later this year. Plus, it's going to come out under a completely different name, which is also changing the whole sort of way the kind of game works. I'm talking about Torchlight Frontier. It's the third installment of the Torchlight series.
Okay.
And it was a lot of debate about like why is it called Torchlight Frontier and not Torchlight 3, but it was because it's going to be so much different. It's going to be more like online and all this kind of stuff. And then now they switched the name to Torchlight 3 again, and people are debating, is that because he's going to go back to the old ways of working, and we have seen these updates to the beta versions of the game that it is going back to the way it used to be. And that's just really, it's not necessarily false advertisement per se, but it's just really wrong, I think, to lead people on like that, because now I'm not really looking forward to that much anymore, and it's just, I think it's a little bit wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I was thinking we could do though is to kind of move on to talking a little bit about games we do look forward to, and hope that they're going to be the way they are saying it's going to be. I can start. I have this game that I am really looking forward to. It's called Dungeon Defenders Awakening, or Awakened. Dungeon Defenders is a game I've been playing a lot. It's actually, I think, the game I've played the most on Steam as when it comes to hours. We don't have to talk about how many hours that is because but they're remaking their first game. So they've made several games over the years, and now they're remaking their game. It's not remaster; it's actually completely remaking. But it's going to be the same. It's just done a little bit, up to date. And it's supposed to come out this quarter. And I am super excited. It's basically a game. I don't know if any of you have played
No.
those games. Will Vitor?
No.
So it's a kind of cool and unique game type. It's a tower defense and RPG game mixed. So it means that you're getting onto this map where there is like some entrances, and then there's like this thing in the middle you have to protect, and you will put up towers to protect it, but you will also be fighting in the battlefield yourself, right? So you might be this mage running around. You put up some mage towers, but you're also running around shooting fireballs at the enemies that is coming. And it's really interesting how you can use those two mixes together to create a much more interesting tower defense, because you might want to defend two of the lanes a lot with the towers, but then you personally stand on one lane to protect it yourself. So there's a lot of different ways you can play the game, and I think it's super amazing. The graphics are cartoony and just it just brings me back memories. So I'm really looking forward to that game. But I must say I am a little bit afraid that it's going to be pushed and that stuff is going to happen. So I'm trying to not think too much about it. Just talking about it now makes me kind of go crazy. So yeah, Volvita, do you have any games that you're looking forward to?
Yes, there's one special game that I'm hoping is going to be great, even though I cannot play it myself because I don't own a PlayStation 4.
Oh.
It is called The Last of Us Part 2, and it is the sequel to the well-known first part, The Last of Us Part 1.
Wow. Never saw that coming.
No.
Oh yes, I'm looking so much forward to that. I love The Last of Us, the first one, and it was amazing story-wise and gameplay-wise. Like, I of course didn't play it. I never owned a PlayStation, but it's going to be so amazing. I checked, like, they're posting these little, like, the press is allowed to play the game for a bit, like one section of it, and then they upload a video about that. And I looked at that, and it's so immersive. Like, all the NPCs, for example, they have like names now, and it is very real in a way that if you shoot someone, for example, they like the teammates of them go around them and like how do you say it in English? Mourn
Yeah,
their
more,
death.
yeah.
Mourn their death. Yes, they do that, or that you can kill dogs, and like the owner of those dogs will be very sad about that. It feels very real, and I think you feel very bad playing this game and killing people, because it's also very brutal and kind of realistic. Like when you stab someone, the blood looks kind of realistic, and I think they made it good. They made it good clear that the people are in pain. So yeah, I think you
damn.
feel very bad playing this game, but I'm looking forward to it.
So you're looking
Very much.
forward to a game where you're gonna feel bad by playing it.
I am not
Also-
playing it. I'm watching it.
Okay, so you don't feel bad watching it then? Is that what you're saying?
No, probably not.
Okay, that's where the line goes.
Yeah.
All right. We actually have a PlayStation, but I've never played those games. I've
No.
looked at them, but they do look interesting.
It's zombie stuff. You might like it.
I'm sold. Let's
All
go.
right.
When does the game come out, though? Do you know that?
I don't think they said a release date yet. I think they said late this year.
All right. Late this year can be anything.
Yeah.
Princess, is there something that you're looking forward to?
I'm not necessarily looking forward to myself, but I have a game that I'm looking forward to see out and about. And do you guys know the TV series Stranger Things?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I didn't watch that.
No, but you know about it.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. There is a mobile game coming out called Stranger Things. And it's coming out this year, 2020. And it's an RPG game that is very much like Pokemon Go. So you are
Whoa.
this character that goes around in the upside down. You can play it on your way to work or on your way to football practice, just as Pokemon Go, and you fight monsters, you battle. I haven't looked too much into what you can do, but I'm looking very much forward to see what it might be, because Pokemon Go was huge as F, and I think it has very, very good potential because Stranger Things is a very popular TV show. So I'm very much looking forward to see where that is going.
I am interested in how the world is going to look if we keep getting games like this. There's just going to be a lot of people running around with their phone,
Yeah.
playing all kinds of games. But yeah, that sounds interesting. Stranger Things. I really like the TV show. Not sure I would walk around playing a game like that, but like you said, you're excited for it to come out. I think it's going to be interesting to just see what happens with it. And some games, at least for me, is games that I've never really played myself, but I love watching other people play it.
Yeah.
There are also some times where I've seen a lot of people play a game and I'm thinking, this looks really cool, I'm going to get it. And then I play it and it's not cool. And I don't know why. But, I mean, gaming can also be something that you can look at other people do as well, I think.
I think mostly when you look at other people play, it's the interaction with the person has that you're playing. It's the personality that they put into the game as well that counts a lot, I think.
All right. So, is there anything else we're looking forward to, Volvitor? Anything to add, or?
No, not really. I think that's all about it for now.
Yeah. Princess, that's
looking forward to Dying Light 2, which has been postponed from early this year to unknown.
That is always
I
great.
don't have too much to add for that, but I'm looking forward to when it comes out, whenever. I mean, Dying Light 2 developers, do what you gotta do, but do it good,
do it good. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be excited about it as well. I just have to play the first one first. Now that you talked about it, I think I might do that.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we are kind of going to move into a little bit of a different section now. I was thinking we could all ask each other a little bit of some questions, gaming related questions, just to get to know each other, but also get the viewers to know us a little bit.
Yeah.
So Princess, you have a question? You start.
I would like to ask Volvitor, what's your favorite video game from your childhood?
Damn. Damn. Okay. Fuck, I have two. Do you guys know Super Mario Galaxy?
No.
Okay.
I know of it, yeah.
Yeah, okay. When I was a child, I played a lot of Super Mario Galaxy 2 with a friend of mine. And it was like basically a jump and run, but it was in 3D. And it was like in space, and It was just crazy fun, like to just like jump around the world. I don't know. We were really into this whole Super Mario universe. Like we had a Nintendo Wii, like
Ooh.
back then. Best console ever. And yeah, I guess that was the game I played most when I was a child.
All right.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah,
well enough?
yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's jump to you, Velvitra, then. Maybe you can ask a question.
Oh yeah, I would like to ask a question to Mr. Lucky.
Yay.
Do you have any guilty pleasure games we don't know about?
I do. Why are you asking
paid-
that question?
Because I paid attention.
I do actually. I do. I really like playing Farmville. I think Farmville is a great game. Okay, I think it's amazing to just be a farmer and make some trees grow and some animals and stuff. I think it's super exciting and it really feels like a guilty pleasure because the time that I have to play video games is mostly on a train. So I'm sitting there on my train just with my phone, kind of like sitting there, like pretending I'm playing some Call of Duty shit. But I'm just like, come on, I need some more apples. And it's not the coolest thing for someone like me to play. And by me, I mean 27-year-old man. But I love it, and I think it's cool. So that's my guilty pleasure game.
Amazing.
That is really cool. Good story, bro.
All right, my turn. I have a question for you, Princess.
Yeah.
What was the first game you ever remember playing?
The first game. Ooh. Yeah, I think it must be me playing on my PlayStation 1, sitting and nerding Crash Bandicoot. I think that's the first game I remember playing and really like. It was my favorite game for decades and maybe still is. I think it's an amazing game, and because I've grown up with it, I feel like it's part of my childhood. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a classic. I think that's
Yeah.
the answer to that question for many people.
Yeah.
Around our age, at least.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So I think we're kind of done with the gaming sort of part of the podcast. And the only thing I really want to end this whole podcast with is to just throw out a little bit of a question, and then we can debate it a little bit and kind of have a little bit of a more open debate right now. And then we can just see how long that lasts. We have been going on for a while, so we don't have too much time left, but let's give it a shot. So what I thought we could talk about is, do we think ghosts are real? What do people think?
Oh my god, oof.
I feel like I have a lot of stories in my life. I have never experienced anything per se myself. There's some weird stuff going on sometimes, and but kind of can be explained. But I actually, in the end, think that I do believe in ghosts. But I cannot explain why and how. They're just there. I feel like there's more between the earth and heaven, if you can say it like that.
All right, interesting. Well, Vitor, you seem like you're thinking hard over there.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how I put it in words.
That's hard. Maybe ask a ghost for help.
Aren't there like these Ouija boards or Ouija? No, how is that called?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Luigi?
exactly.
Luigi boards.
So I think, yeah, well, nothing happened to me per se as well. There was nothing like that ever where I thought, oh yeah, that could have been a ghost or something. But I had a very close friend, and he told me a story about like his dead mom, and that seemed kind of weird. And also, like, I couldn't really say what else it could have been. So I'm kind of thinking, I do not believe in them myself, but I am not ignorant, and I'm not saying that they don't exist at all. I'm just saying that I do not believe at them at the current moment, but there's so much that we don't know, and maybe I'm wrong.
All right. I think that there's two ways of looking at it. One is experience and kind of what you've heard and seen yourself, and then it's also kind of scientifically. And I think for me personally, those two doesn't add up because I have experienced some things that, like you guys said, or Princess, like it could be explained, but I have experienced one thing that really can't be explained, in my opinion. Um, but in the end of the day, I'm a person who is very, very much relying on science, and I think that there is no scientific way that would ever be possible. So it's really tough.
Yeah.
But I did once experience something. Like I said, I was home alone with some friends, and we were trying to fall asleep, and we could hear some babies, like, or what sounded like some babies crying in the bedroom downstairs. And then we went down to check it out. There was obviously nothing there. Then we went up again, tried to sleep, and we heard it again. And then we went down, still nothing there. And it kept on going. And so we went down a third time, and we couldn't actually get into the room because the door went into the room, and that was there was pushed this whole kind of like drawer in front of the door on the other side. So we had to push the door open and push that whole drawer thing to the side. And there was only us at home, and there was no one in the room, and they couldn't have gotten anyone through any windows because there wasn't any windows in that room, which was pretty crazy.
That is so creepy.
Yeah, and this was when I was like 14, 15, so we weren't drinking that much.
Legally. We
Yeah.
weren't drinking legally.
But I think, I don't know, the scientific behind it just doesn't add up. But I think maybe the thought about ghost is nice because you kind of want to believe that there is something after death, right? You don't want
Yeah.
to feel like you're dead, that's it, nothing more, you're gone.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice to feel like there is
Mm.
something coming. Would you guys be willing to go into a haunted house or something like that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that would be amazing.
All right. What would you do if, when you approach it, or when you're inside, something insane happens, things start flying around? Would you be scared and run out, or oof?
I would be very, very scared, but I think I wouldn't want to look at it. I like if I leave, I turn my back on it, it's gonna kill me. So I want to look at it and keep an eye on what's going on around me. So I'll stay, but I'll be scared.
It's kind of like in the movies where you see that someone is seeing something over there, and then they look away, and when they look back, it's not there
Yes,
anymore. So it's just,
exactly.
why don't you just keep looking?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think there are some things that you just cannot look at for long. Maybe something disgusting happens or stuff, then you're going to look away anyway.
Well,
right.
that might be true.
Haunted houses are no easy things.
Do you guys think that if ghosts are real, or if we're talking about ghosts, that it's only humans that have passed away and became ghosts, or do you believe in things like poltergeists or demons and all that kind of weird, or do you think that's leading into a little bit more fantasy world?
Oh, it's the thing with ghosts. As I said earlier, I cannot really explain it. It might as well just be invisible aliens, for all I know. And it sounds ridiculous, I know, but like, think about it. How much do we know? We know very, very little compared to our entire universe or galaxy. So it could just be invisible aliens. There might not be any dead person that's trying to communicate with us. I don't know.
Are you referring to a certain movie where certain things are happening that we might have seen recently? Interstellar, where there is
Ooh,
happening
I actually
something.
didn't think about that, but yeah.
Have you seen that, Volviter?
No. I was going to.
It's kind of
Anyway.
hard to talk about movie references with Will Beecher.
Yeah, he has seen nothing.
I have seen many stuff that you didn't see.
German stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not German stuff. Also pop culture things that you didn't see.
Alien.
Okay.
Alien 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
I've seen Alien 1. And
Cool.
Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, I've seen
Cool.
that one as well.
But yeah, so I think you actually had a good point there, Princess, about the ghosts might not be ghosts, but they just might be aliens or something we don't understand. So maybe we can say that ghosts aren't necessarily real, humans dying and becoming this thing, but that there is something
Yeah.
that is going on that we don't understand. Maybe that can be invisible aliens having fun, or maybe it can be some fourth dimension kind of things that you see in Interstellar. No spoiler.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Volvitra? Are you agreeing? Is that kind of what we are getting at here?
Yeah, well, I agree that we definitely have no clue what they are, and yeah, but I still don't believe in it.
Alright.
But I'm saying that we don't know it, and I might be wrong.
All
Yeah.
right. Cool. I think, I know that was everything we had on the list
Ooh!
for this podcast. It's our very first podcast, so
Yeah.
yeah. It
Be
was,
nice to us.
Be
nice to
Be
us.
nice in
Exactly.
the comments.
Yes. So yeah, thank you guys for coming, and thank you guys
Thank
for watching.
you.
And we will see you next time, whenever that is. Bye.
Bye.